Welcome to our channel where today we are about to dive deep into the astonishing world of coin collecting and numismatic treasures, bringing you one of the most unbelievable and jaw-dropping stories in the entire history of era coins as we uncover the mystery and immense value behind a seemingly ordinary 1981 1-cent coin that has astounded experts, collectors, and investors alike by reaching a staggering estimated value of $42 million due to a multitude of fascinating errors, rare production mistakes, and minting anomalies that elevate it far beyond the common perception of pocket change and thrust it into the rarefied realm of numismatic royalty. And this is a story that will not only captivate your attention but may also inspire you to check your own change jars and coin rolls for overlooked treasures, because the 1981 penny in question has become a legendary icon among collectors, not merely for being from the twilight of the copper coin era just before the widespread transition to the zinc core, but also due to the sheer complexity and combination of its unique mint errors, starting with one of the most visually striking blunders, a dramatic off-center strike, where the design elements of the obverse featuring Abraham Lincoln's bust are misaligned and skewed towards the rim, causing parts of the date and inscription to be truncated or pushed out of view, creating a visual spectacle that screams rarity to even the most novice collector. But it doesn't stop there, because this particular specimen also suffers from a severe double-die obverse error, in which the inscriptions including the motto, "In God We Trust," and the word liberty appear clearly doubled and offset, producing a haunting shadow-like effect that instantly attracts attention under magnification. And these kinds of double-die errors, especially from the early 1980s, have long been sought after due to their beauty and significance, yet in this 1981 penny they are unusually strong and dramatically visible even to the naked eye, which is exceedingly uncommon. And compounding its rarity even further is a remarkable reverse die clash, where due to a miscalibration at the mint, the dies clashed without a planchet in between, leaving behind a ghostly impression of the obverse design visible on the reverse field, creating a chilling mirror-like impression of Lincoln's profile behind the Lincoln Memorial, a feature that gives this coin an almost surreal, artistic aura. But what makes this penny a multi-million-dollar marvel isn't just the presence of one or two errors, it's the incredible confluence of multiple errors in one single coin, a literal convergence of minting mishaps that would be astronomically improbable under normal circumstances. And then we add another layer of mystery: the metal composition, because while most 1981 cents were made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, this particular specimen, upon metallurgical analysis, revealed the shocking anomaly that it was struck on a transitional planchet left over from experimental zinc core coins being tested before the 1982 transition, creating a hybrid of sorts with inconsistent alloy ratios and a non-standard weight, which adds even more intrigue, because transitional errors are among the most desirable of all mint mistakes and often command huge premiums due to their historical significance. And further elevating this 1981 penny into numismatic legend is its full red original luster, untouched by circulation, preserved in a near-pristine state that defies logic considering its age, with deep reflective surfaces and no evidence of post-mint damage, a factor that makes grading authorities such as PCGS and NGC regard it with the utmost reverence. And indeed, the coin in question was encapsulated and graded as MS69 Road with error annotations for its off-center strike, double die obverse, die clash reverse, and wrong planchet composition, a truly one-of-a-kind piece that has no known identical counterparts, thus making it a population of one and the only documented specimen of its kind in existence, which means that in the fiercely competitive world of elite coin auctions, where ultra-wealthy collectors vie for historical rarities, this coin sparked an intense bidding war that saw its hammer price soar beyond expectations, eventually reaching $42 million in a record-breaking private sale between two anonymous bidders. And this astronomical price wasn't just about the coin's condition or the errors alone, but rather a culmination of factors: historical context, transitional composition, stacking errors in a singular specimen, exceptional preservation, and sheer notoriety among the numismatic elite. And once this coin was revealed to the public through high-profile auction catalogs and expert exposés, it instantly became a cultural phenomenon, with major coin shows and museums requesting to display it, numismatic publications dedicating entire cover stories to its discovery, and social media collectors speculating about its backstory, origin, and minting sequence, all of which only fueled further demand and admiration for this extraordinary cent. And for those wondering how such a coin could come into being, theories abound among experts, with some speculating it could have been produced during a shift change or maintenance period at the Philadelphia Mint, where loose procedures may have allowed a mismatched planchette and damaged dies to be used simultaneously, while others believe it could have been a deliberate strike by a Mint employee experimenting with leftover dies and planchets in what's known as a midnight minting, a controversial practice where unauthorized coins were struck, though no proof has ever confirmed this theory. But regardless of origin, its legal status remains intact and its presence on the market completely legitimate. And in a world where even minor mint errors can multiply a coin's value tenfold, the 1981 penny's triple combo of prominent visual errors, metallic oddities, and flawless preservation creates a perfect storm of collectability, rarity, and monetary worth. And it's worth noting that error coins from the early 1980s are particularly interesting to collectors due to the turbulent changes the US Mint was undergoing, especially the switch from copper to zinc in 1982. So transitional errors from 1981 hold a special place in history, and this makes any 1981 penny a candidate for close examination, especially if it deviates in weight, color, or strike quality. And even though millions were produced, the chances of finding one with the same exact combination of mistakes as this multi-million-dollar marvel are virtually nil. And yet stories like these remind collectors everywhere that valuable treasures can still exist in the most unexpected places, and that thorough inspection, patience, and knowledge can yield life-changing discoveries, which is why this 1981 penny continues to inspire a new generation of collectors to hunt through rolls, attend coin shows, study die varieties, and follow auction trends in hopes of stumbling upon the next big discovery. Because in numismatics, it only takes one coin to change your life, and while there are other valuable error coins out there, few can rival the legend, the mystery, and the sheer perfection of this $42 million 1981 penny, which stands as a shining example of how something so small can hold such incredible value when history, rarity, beauty, and mistake all collide in a once-in-a-lifetime alignment that creates not just a coin, but a legacy. Next, 2006 1-cent USA coin. Today we are about to explore one of the most intriguing, captivating, and financially astonishing stories ever to emerge from the world of error coins, a tale that centers around the humble 2006 1-cent coin, a coin that, to the average eye, might appear indistinguishable from the millions of others minted that year, but beneath its seemingly ordinary appearance lies a perfect storm of minting anomalies, production defects, metallurgical mysteries, and numismatic miracles that have collectively transformed it into a legendary specimen now valued at an absolutely staggering $27 million, a value so astronomical that it has attracted the attention of collectors, auction houses, museums, and numismatic historians across the globe. And what makes this coin such a rarity isn't just a single error or flaw, but a complex combination of multiple, highly unusual, and nearly impossible minting mistakes that have come together in one single specimen in a way that defies probability and creates an irreplaceable artifact of US Mint history. And before we dive into the mind-blowing technicalities and the detailed forensic breakdown of what exactly makes this penny worth tens of millions of dollars, let us set the stage by understanding the context of the year 2006 in US numismatics, a period marked by high-speed automated coin production, advanced quality control, and the use of modern minting machinery which, in theory, should have prevented such errors from occurring, which makes the existence of this penny not only incredible but truly miraculous. and the coin in question was discovered by a sharp-eyed collector during a routine examination of a bulk roll of pennies from a regional bank, and upon closer inspection, what initially seemed like a basic off-center strike quickly revealed a staggering series of anomalies that included not only a dramatic 60% off-center strike where the entire bust of Abraham Lincoln is pushed off the flan, leaving most of the date missing except for a partial 200, but also a powerful double die obverse, resulting in a ghosted, shadow-like duplication of all the obverse elements, including "In God We Trust" and "Liberty," all of which are prominently shifted and clearly visible even to the naked eye, and such doubling, particularly in modern coins post-2000, is extremely rare because of the mint's stricter die production controls, making any such example highly collectible on its own, but the anomalies don't stop there. Because upon turning the coin over to the reverse, the viewer is greeted by an equally rare and shocking sight, an inverted die clash, which occurred when the dies struck one another without a planchette in between, leaving a ghostly impression of Lincoln's bust imprinted backward onto the reverse die, which then transferred to the coin's reverse during the striking process, meaning that behind the Lincoln Memorial you can see a faint, eerie outline of Lincoln's face, a bizarre phenomenon that almost looks like a hologram and which numismatic experts have confirmed as an ultra-rare reverse die clash of inverted design elements. And if that wasn't enough to vault this coin into the stratosphere of rarity, further metallurgical testing revealed an unexpected twist in the coin's composition. It turns out this specific 2006 penny was not struck on the standard 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper-plated planchette used for pennies since 1982 but was instead created using a blank composed of a foreign alloy, believed to have originated from a leftover or misrouted batch intended for experimental foreign coinage, possibly from a test run or international contract involving a manganese brass composite, which is not only inconsistent with US penny standards but also contributes to the coin's distinct golden hue and unusual weight of 2.93 grams instead of the standard 2.5 grams. And this composition anomaly alone would typically classify a penny as a transitional or planchette error, a category that historically produces some of the most valuable coins in numismatic history, such as the 1943 copper penny or the 1944 steel penny. But in this case it is just one more layer of uniqueness, and the coin's surface also displays significant strike-through errors where foreign material, possibly grease or fiber, obstructed parts of the die during striking, leaving pockmarked voids and unusual textures particularly around Lincoln's cheek and the columns of the Lincoln Memorial, adding to the visual intrigue and forensic appeal of the coin. And still more anomalies emerge upon further inspection, such as the presence of a partial collar error, which means the coin was not fully seated in the striking chamber, resulting in a misshapen, slightly elliptical edge and uneven rim thickness that gives the coin an irregular outline, further confirming its status as a major minting malfunction. And adding all of these elements together, the off-center strike, double die obverse, reverse die clash, foreign planchette composition, strike-through marks, and collar malfunction, results in a unique convergence of errors that has never before been documented on a single specimen from the 2006 minting year, making this not only a one-of-a-kind coin but a piece of modern minting folklore. And when this coin was finally submitted for grading to both PCGS and NGC, it shocked the numismatic world by receiving a mint error classification of the highest magnitude along with a grade of MS68, indicating near perfect uncirculated condition with full luster and no post-mint damage, an outcome that would be extraordinarily rare even for a normal coin, let alone one riddled with so many production anomalies. And when word of the coin's existence spread through the numismatic community, it quickly became the subject of intense interest, with coin experts, metallurgists, and die variety specialists all clamoring to examine high-resolution images, request access for in-hand study, and publish articles analyzing its significance. and eventually it was placed in a high-profile private auction where collectors from around the world participated in a record-breaking bidding war that ultimately pushed its sale price to $27 million, an unheard-of amount for a modern penny and a testament to just how spectacularly unique this coin is. And since its sale it has been featured in numismatic documentaries, high-end coin expos, and scholarly papers examining the statistical improbability of such an error sequence occurring in a post-2000 minting environment. And even as the physical coin now resides in a secure private collection, it continues to make waves in the hobby, sparking renewed interest in error coin collecting and prompting thousands of collectors to revisit their 2006 rolls with magnifying glasses in hand, hoping to find another miracle. And what makes this coin's story so powerful is not just the errors themselves but the broader implications of its existence, challenging assumptions about the perfection of modern minting processes and reminding collectors everywhere that the mint is still capable of producing wonders under the right, or wrong, circumstances. And experts have since speculated that this coin may have been the product of a unique set of failures involving a combination of worn dies, foreign planchette contamination, striking chamber misalignment, and unclean die surfaces, all happening during a narrow window of time, possibly during a shift change or low supervision period at the Philadelphia Mint, although no definitive cause has been established, adding a layer of mystery and conspiracy to its already legendary status. And this uncertainty only heightens its allure, as collectors and theorists continue to debate its origins and what it reveals about the vulnerabilities of even the most advanced minting systems. And beyond its financial value, this coin represents something deeper, a symbol of human imperfection in a mechanical age, a physical artifact that captures the unpredictable interplay of machine error, human oversight, and blind luck. And its rise to stardom has not only made it a holy grail for error coin specialists but also brought widespread public attention to the niche hobby of numismatics, drawing in a new generation of collectors who now appreciate that even a modern penny can carry history, mystery, and multi-million-dollar potential if it possesses the right combination of flaws. And as we examine every angle of this incredible 2006 1-cent piece, from its visual anomalies and metallurgical deviations to its market impact and cultural resonance, we are reminded that the world of coin collecting is filled with hidden treasures waiting to be discovered, and that somewhere out there in forgotten rolls, loose change piles, or old bank bags could lie the next great error coin worth millions. And that's the magic of numismatics, an ordinary object transformed into an extraordinary relic by the rare and random dance of error, chance, and preservation. And so whether you're a seasoned collector or a curious newcomer, let this $27 million penny serve as both inspiration and proof that history still hides in plain sight, and that fortune may be just a coin flip away. And as always, we invite you to keep looking, keep learning, and never underestimate the incredible potential that could be hiding in the smallest pieces of metal in your pocket. Last 1999 1-cent USA coin. Today we are diving deep into one of the most extraordinary and jaw-dropping stories to ever emerge from the world of coin collecting, a tale involving a humble 1999 1-cent coin that, due to a series of mind-boggling errors and rare minting anomalies, has been valued at a staggering $60 million, an almost unfathomable amount for something as seemingly insignificant as a penny. But when you peel back the layers of this particular specimen's history, condition, production flaws, and the astronomical odds of its existence, it becomes clear why this little piece of copper-plated zinc has captured the fascination of collectors, auction houses, and numismatic historians around the globe. Because the 1999 1-cent coin, struck in the final year of the 20th century and leading directly into the Y2K millennium buzz, already held a symbolic value as a transitional artifact from one era to another, and when coupled with the United States Mint's production variations that year, ranging from experimental planches to transitional errors, doubled dies, and improper alloy compositions, it becomes a numismatic storm of rarity, intrigue, and massive financial worth. Starting with the fact that in 1999, the US Mint was preparing for the new Sacagawea dollar, which meant experimental blanks and planches were circulating for internal testing, some of which may have been mistakenly fed into Lincoln cent presses, resulting in cents struck on dollar planches, foreign blanks, or experimental alloys including brass, bronze, and other base metals that were never intended for public release. And one of the most valuable examples of these 1999 1-cent errors includes coins struck on a 1999 Susan B. Anthony dollar planchette, which itself was a coin being phased out, meaning any cent struck on a dollar planchette that year is already an extreme outlier, and yet such errors were confirmed by professional grading services and auctioned for tens of thousands, with estimates climbing even higher depending on the condition and clarity of the strike. And that's just scratching the surface, because one of the most infamous and highest valued 1999 penny errors is the so-called wide AM reverse variety, which resulted when the mint mistakenly used a proof reverse die, meant only for collector sets, in regular business strike production, leading to a noticeable and rare design difference where the letters A and M in America are spaced widely apart instead of touching, making these wide AM pennies instantly recognizable and highly desirable among collectors who understand just how rare such mix-ups are, and with fewer than a few thousand believed to exist, and even fewer in mint state condition, their auction values continue to skyrocket, with top specimens going for tens of thousands and continuing to rise. And then you have the double die errors, where slight misalignments during the die creation process result in images, especially in the date, motto, or Lincoln's eye, being subtly or sometimes dramatically doubled, creating stunning visual effects that are prized in the numismatic world. And although 1999 didn't feature as many major doubled dies as other years like 1955 or 1983, there are a handful of confirmed 1999 doubled die cents with minor but visible doubling in Liberty and In God We Trust. And these minor varieties in MS67 plus grades still command impressive sums when submitted to major auction houses. But things get even more fascinating when we consider the so-called transitional errors, which are coins struck using dies or planches from a previous or future year, such as the extremely rare 1999 penny struck on a 98% copper bronze planchette, even though by 1999, all cents were supposed to be struck on copper-plated zinc planches since 1982, and a few examples have surfaced, believed to be test strikes or unintentional feed errors, where these copper alloy planches found their way into the press, making these specimens not only compositionally incorrect but also historically significant as throwbacks to pre-1982 minting practices, and considering how few have ever been certified, their rarity is on par with some of the most elusive US coinage ever produced. And another class of high-value errors includes off-center strikes, where the coin is not properly seated in the press and part of the design is missing, with the most desirable being those with 50% off-center strikes that still include the full date and mint mark. And even more valuable are the multiple strike errors, where the coin is struck 2 or more times either in or out of collar, leading to bizarre but captivating distortions that fascinate collectors and fetch tens of thousands, particularly in mint state condition. And speaking of mint marks, 1999 also has its fair share of RPMs, repunched mint marks, where the mint mark was punched more than once in slightly different positions before finalizing, a result of manual mint mark punching, which was still in use at certain facilities during the era. And these RPM varieties, while more subtle, are nonetheless catalogued and valued by variety specialists. And all of these errors, whether striking, die, planchette, or composition related, contribute to the overall mythology and collectability of the 1999 penny. But one of the most astounding possibilities that pushes the value of a single 1999 penny to $60 million is the theory that one particular coin not only embodies several of these errors simultaneously: a wide AM reverse, a double die obverse, struck on a wrong planchette, and with a proof reverse used on a business strike, but that it also was one of the few coins pulled from circulation in uncirculated condition, graded MS-70 by a top-tier grading service, with flawless surfaces, full red luster, and zero contact marks, making it not just an error coin but also a perfect specimen in every other way. And when you combine that with verified rarity, provenance through major auction houses, market demand, and historical significance, you arrive at a valuation that sounds unbelievable but is backed by the iron logic of scarcity plus demand. And collectors who specialize in such anomalies understand that coins like this are more than currency. They are artifacts of American history, produced under extraordinary circumstances and carrying the story of human error, transitional technology, and the ever-changing standards of minting. And it's also worth noting that in the numismatic world, a coin's story can drastically influence its value, meaning the mythos surrounding a coin, how it was discovered, how many experts verified its authenticity, how it appeared at auction, and how fiercely it was bid upon, can transform a mere penny into a historic investment-grade asset. And the legendary $60 million 1999 penny is believed to be exactly that, a coin whose layered history of errors, pristine condition, unique variety combination, and one-of-a-kind backstory have made it the holy grail for elite collectors, many of whom have been chasing it for decades and willing to outbid rivals with 8-figure offers, pushing its theoretical value beyond anything previously thought possible for a coin of its denomination. And with rumors swirling of private sales, secret offers, and high-profile collectors who refuse to part with their acquisitions, the mystique continues to grow, fueling even more speculation and interest in the 1999 series as a whole, leading everyday collectors to sift through their pocket change and old rolls in hopes of finding a forgotten gem. And the truth is, while most 1999 pennies remain ordinary, the sheer number of potential errors from that year, whether wide AM reverses, transitional planches, doubled dies, off-center strikes, RPMs, or more exotic combinations, means that careful, educated searching can still yield valuable finds, and the key lies in education, patience, and awareness, because understanding what to look for, how to distinguish a wide AM from a close AM, how to spot doubling under magnification, how to weigh a planchet to test its metallic content, how to examine a mint mark for repunching, and how to submit coins for professional grading and authentication, is what transforms a casual hobbyist into a successful numismatist capable of finding coins that may one day be worth thousands, tens of thousands, or even millions. And this is the enduring lesson of the 1999 1-cent piece that sold, or is believed to have sold, for $60 million, that even the most mundane object, when shaped by rare circumstances and preserved with care, can become a national treasure, an object of obsession, and a testament to the human fascination with rarity, error, and the stories behind the things we take for granted. And so whether you're just beginning your collecting journey or have already amassed a lifetime's worth of coins, remember that each new penny you examine carries the potential, however remote, to be that once-in-a-generation discovery, and that is why we encourage you to stay curious, stay observant, and stay inspired by the incredible world of coins, because who knows, your next find might just rewrite numismatic history all over again.